on this one. I'm going to bring this way down here for you. This posting is not for social media, so I'm going to kind of just go straight to this here. You don't need to see our website or anything because this is only being posted on the website. I will do a handful of videos that are literally just website stuff. So let me get over here to this full screen. And you know what? I'm going to turn... Yeah, let's turn that stuff off. You know what? Let's just turn it all off. This will be something entirely new. This will be just you and I having a conversation. No advertising stuff. I'm not going to ask you to like or follow any of that other stuff. So let me tell you how I found myself here, and I want to get to things about the spectrum. Ooh. I do have a younger son, and he's no longer a minor, and we had to go through a bunch of things. We're still going through a bunch of things, actually, with regard to that. But he has autism spectrum disorder, and I can't speak for every other parent out there with some child that is on the spectrum. I'm going to phrase it this way. I don't believe we as parents have it all that difficult. Our son is very high on the intellectual functioning skills, but really has compromised executive functioning skills. In other words, he's ridiculously smart, just doesn't care about much else. Sorry, he has a very, very rigid, I want to say, outlook on life, and quite frankly, if anything is outside of that view of what should be, he does tend to get a little triggered. We'll just leave it at that. So, but at least you can have a conversation. You know, if you knew what you were looking for, you would notice it probably right away. If you didn't know, it'd take you a little while, but you'd realize something was a little bit off. But what usually gives away is the repetitive nature of the speech, of the dialogue. That's what gets it first. Anyway, enough about that. Myself, a lot of people have asked. I grew up I was born in the mid-'60s, adopted, and the only real moment I can say that kind of changed direction for me was in third grade. And I'm not going to give the full story about it, but suffice it to say that time with a counselor, I don't remember exactly how much time I spent with a counselor. I do remember it was quite some time, but I do remember from the time I was meeting with the counselor, I really wasn't back in the classroom at all. And I don't recall finishing the third grade in any legitimate fashion, and started fourth grade at a parochial school even further away than where I was already going to school. Now, being young, I really didn't ask too many questions. I really didn't care what was going on. I was just like, okay, going to school, go to school here, go to school there, whatever. So I was blissfully, I won't say ignorant, but just not concerned about it. I never really asked my parents about it, but I do know that from some documentation I was able to see and kind of figure out that I was deemed special in some regard, but I don't believe back then they had this autism spectrum disorder thing. Now, the intellectual functioning, obviously I'm very high. Executive functioning, I'm better than my younger son, but I can see where, okay, yeah. I have never volunteered to be tested and never been asked to be tested, but I'm somewhat convinced that there's a genetic correlation. Just going to say that. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories about the other stuff. So that covers the part of my life that is important and relevant to this. The third part is my time as a middle school science teacher here in Massachusetts. And coming from a non-education background, I came from a industrial business and consulting background and went into teaching from what we'll call the outside world. And I had a different concept of how to get things done. I'm very transactional. I'm very creative, and I'm very, broad thinker type of a situation. So it took me a while to get used to lesson plans. Once I realized that lesson plans were something that were done as a formality, I really didn't pay too much attention to them. And the reason is this, and this is why I get in trouble with other educators. You're in the classroom. You got your lesson plan. That's a great guideline. But if something changes in the middle of a lesson or whatever is happening that provides an opportunity to spark learning and curiosity, take it. Lesson plan can be put off. You can deal with it. You got to look for those moments. And when they happen, it is worth every minute to capitalize on those. And the lesson plan is secondary. So that's my advice to you educators out there. You need to be aware, situationally aware of all your students to find those opportunities to open the doors, to have the light bulbs go off, to, get them down a path of interest. Because curiosity and interest is far more important than studying trivia in a book. Sorry. It's just the truth. Anyway. So I have experience as a parent. I have experience as somebody from my own personal experience, and I've had experience in the education community. I will say this. I'm not going to get into everything about how I did what I did, but I had very good results with a number of students that had trouble. And I'm just going to say, as a potential service provider to you, if you're considering using me for any resource at all, just so you know, I am here for you. It's not about me. It's about helping others. I need to return to other people what was kind of given to me. And if I can do that in the last third of my life, I'd be more than happy to do so. And it's not all about money. Frankly, that's a secondary concern. Anyway, from myself to you, again, I'm Tom Hankins, host, creator, organizer of The Special Educator. I look forward to working with you, and I really hope everything works out for you. Thank you.